Shalom, Israel. Want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, BASHAM, YAHAWAHSHI, BASHAM, Rakah, Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders who teach and rule well at Great Millstone. And peace and salutations and peace and mercy to the prophets, the hopeful elect, the 144,000, and to the men and women of the 12 lost tribes of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Shalom. Back with another lesson. I'll title this one, The Message of Doom. The Message of Doom. You know, famine and pestilence. Call halal Yahawah, BASHAM, YAHAWAHSHI. Call halal Yamla, Allahayanawa Yahawah, BASHAM, YAHAWAHSHI. And I'm gonna get this quick article that I was reading that sparked the lesson, and then it's going into this, to the bird flu. And, you know, with these, you know, chickens and turkeys, you know, birds are dying off. And this is going to create a famine. This is going to create a famine. And, you know, the Lord, the same thing he did in the first Egypt under Pharaoh, he sent plagues and pestilence, you know, and a famine in the land of Egypt, in the first Egypt. But he going to do the same thing again in this second Egypt, because America is spiritually known as Sodom and Egypt. What he did in that, what the Lord did to Pharaoh and the Egyptians in the first Egypt, he going to make that look like nothing to what he going to do into this second Egypt. It's going to be far worse, but this famine is going to be a worldwide famine. And we're talking about a terrifying famine. It ain't going to be no food. The only food is going to be for the elect of the Lord's people, because the Lord told you, what did he say? My servants shall eat and ye shall be hungry. See? And a lot of you, you know, 2/3 of Israel, you mock, you scoff, you know, at the men of the Lord. Because when you come against the men of the Lord that's speaking this, you know, this word, speaking this Bible, this truth, man, you know, you're basically, you're coming against the Lord, because these aren't our words. These are his words, these prophecies. See? And the Lord is telling you that there's a famine. This already happened, but he gonna do it again. You know, and Israel is hard. 2/3 of Israel is hard-headed. They don't believe this. So let me get this quick article, and then I got a couple of scriptures and I'm gonna close out. It says bird flu has led to the deaths of more than 50 million farm birds and sickened dozens of mammals. It says 3 charts show whether humans should be worried. Yeah, you should be worried, because if you eat, you know, this contaminated, you know, chicken or turkey or, you know, these animals, man, you're going to be sick too. But ultimately, this is going to create a famine, because they're dying. These animals are dying off. These birds are dying off. It says around January of last year, birds across the U.S. from South Carolina to New Hampshire started dropping dead. Geese, ducks, even eagles. And you're not supposed to eat none of those birds. We don't eat geese. We don't eat ducks. Even in eagles, we don't eat eagles. It says we're being killed off by deadlier than usual bird flu called H5N1. And that's that pestilence that's going around right now, killing these birds. It says, which had already wreaked havoc across much of Europe and Asia. See, because this is going to be a worldwide famine. It says today, H5N1, a type of highly pathogenic avian influenza, has led to the deaths through both infections and killings of a record-breaking 58.2 million farm birds nationwide, including turkeys and chickens. It's one of the big reasons that the egg prices soared in 2022. And if you go inside, I'll leave it there. But if you go inside the like the grocery store I go to by my home, the eggs, I know for a pasture of organic eggs, 18, it was 18 carton of eggs, 18 eggs. They're charging like 13 something dollars, 14, plus tax, $14 out the dough. You know what I'm saying? So, the less meat and the less eggs, the higher the price is going to go up. But eventually this is going to create a famine. And the Lord told you he's going to increase the famine until you are destroyed. This is going to be a terrifying famine. And you have these preppers and storing up food, and they got their bug out plans and stuff like that. All you're doing is storing up food. All you preppers, if and to you 2/3 Israelites that just thinking that you're gonna store up food and you're gonna be good, your bug out plan. This is for the elect. All this food that's being stored up is gonna be for the elect. The rest of you are gonna, a lot of 2/3 of Israel, right along with the other nations, you're gonna perish through starvation. A lot of parents are gonna watch their own kids die of starvation, and it's gonna create cannibalism. You see, because all this stuff already happened already in times past. You see, so there's an unspeakable, terrifying famine that's gonna befall in this that's befalling the earth right now, and ultimately here in America, Babylon, spiritually known as Sodom and Egypt. And you Americans, boy, you have access to food 24/7, 7 days a week, and then a lot of you are wasteful, just throwing away food. You're arrogant, you're proud. And the Lord is long suffering, man. He's long suffering, but there's no escaping out of the Lord's hand. There's nowhere to go. So, there's going to be a lot of people's judgment is through starvation and through these pestilence of dying of diseases. There's going to be a lot of people going to have done prospered and done well for 15, 20, 25 years, 30 years, have been doing good, and they've ain't had a thought about the Lord. And 2/3 of Israel, they reject this word. They reject these prophecies. You see, I got a couple right now. Let me get to the scriptures. But just like in the time of Jeremiah, Jeremiah was trying to warn Israel and to the kings, Zedekiah and Josiah, the list of kings, in Jeremiah's time. But King Zedekiah, he didn't listen, and he, every time, in times past, every time Israel, don't listen, the Lord sent these, other nations, their armies on Israel. But in this time, King Zedekiah, the Lord sent Nebuchadnezzar, the Babylonians, and they destroyed that Jerusalem. And Jeremiah was trying to warn and tell Zedekiah, and Zedekiah did evil in the sight of the Lord. So the same thing today, because Israel, 2/3 of Israel, you Israelites, you like to put, these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, you like to put your politicians and stuff up as leaders, and your sports stars and entertainers and stuff like that. You like to put them as your leaders, as your kings, the LeBron James and your Jay-Z and the Tupacs. You like to put them as your kings, but they're not. They did evil in the sight of the Lord. sacrificing their kids, you know, worshiping all these false gods, gang banging, extortion. You know, a good majority of Israel, 2/3 of Israel, their pastors they got these 501c3 charts. They've totally sold out, man. They've done evil in the sight of the Lord. And then you try to warn them and tell them about America, spiritually known as Sodom and Egypt, and they don't believe none of that. And they believe in this place, America. They believe in this place. You try to tell them about what the thus said the Lord is saying about what he gonna do to this place, and they totally reject it. They have all the faith in they vote, they all their resources, you know, they just trust in this place, America. But same thing with Zedekiah. Trying to trust Jeremiah was, you know, Salakia. Same thing with Zedekiah, but with Jeremiah trying to explain to him and tell him, man, you need to believe in the Lord, man. You know, you don't trust in the land of Egypt. Egypt can't help you. But this is going to be a downfall to a lot of to 2/3 of Israel, this place, America. Because they trust in this place. But King Zedekiah, he didn't listen and he didn't humble himself. So King Nebuchadnezzar, the army, the Babylonian army, you know, destroyed Jerusalem and took Israel into captivity. And then King Zedekiah, he didn't listen. So the Lord sent judgment, and King Nebuchadnezzar, the Babylonian army, they murdered the soldiers of King Zedekiah of Israel, and King Zedekiah, he seen it, and then they murdered his sons right in front of him, and then they put King Zedekiah's eyes out, and then took him and threw him in prison. So that was the last thing King Zedekiah seen. Was his army, Jerusalem get trodden down, burnt down, and his army and his noblemen get killed. And then he also watched his sons get put to death right in front of him. And then they put his eyes out. So that was the last thing he seen. He didn't listen. He didn't listen. See? So I'm just gonna go to this. Matter of fact, let me go here. Jeremiah 7 and 26, and it reads, 2/3 of Israel, you're gonna find out the hard way. It says, Jeremiah 7 and 26, it says, yet they hearken not unto me, nor incline their ear, but harden their neck. They did worse than their fathers. Yeah, because in past time, in the ancient time under Moses and, you know, Jeremiah and our forefathers, they knew about YAHAWAHSHI. They knew that they were Israel. Today, 2/3 of Israel, they reject this. You're not no Hebrew Israelite. You ain't never been to Israel. We don't believe in that stuff. Those prophecies and, all that stuff happened 3,000 years ago. They totally reject this. They said, it says 27, therefore thou shalt speak all these words unto them, but they will not hearken to thee. Thou shalt also call unto them, but they will not answer thee. See, it says 28, but thou shalt say unto them, this is a nation that obeyeth not the voice of the Lord their God. Right. They're not going to listen. They're not going to listen. These lessons are going up every day in and day out. These lessons and these prophecies are going out to all over the world. And Israel is scattered all over the world. into all nations. The internet, YouTube goes into all nations, all over the earth. And you have the prophets, man, and you know, at Great Millstone, you know, and men teaching the same likewise doctrine, you know, speaking the Lord's word, man, prophesying his word. These aren't our words. This is the words of the Lord. But they don't want to listen. It says, nor receiveth correction. You try to tell them about the holy days, you know, the dietary law, the law, statutes, and commandments, who you are, who your power is. They, you know, where they're going off, and 2/3 of Israel, they reject it. They, you know, they get mad when you tell them that they're going off. You know, it says truth is perished and is cut off from their mouth. See, so you know, the truth is vanished from 2/3 of Israel. They don't want to have nothing to do with this word. They gonna do what they want to do. I can tell you in Psalm, Israel, they would not, none of me. They won't listen to me. So the Lord, like he said, so he gave them up unto their own counsels. See, and their own stupid ideas. And look where they're at. They're on Israel. We're still on the bottom. No matter what you try to do, no matter all the political groups, you know, the armies that you try to build, the Black Panthers, all these different things Israel has tried to do, and you're still on the bottom, getting beat down. See? And it hasn't worked. And you still don't listen. You don't listen. So the Lord, you know, this famine, this pestilence, the war, all of this is coming. All of this is coming. And you continually, you trust in the oppressor. You believe in the enemy. So this is going to be your downfall. So let me close out with this. Let me go to Jeremiah 42:16, and it reads, it says, then it shall come to pass that the sword which ye feared shall overtake you there in the land of Egypt. Right. The sword is coming. The death, the famine, the pestilence, the war, the destruction. All of this is coming. It says in this place, it says, and the famine whereof ye were afraid shall follow close after you there in Egypt, and there ye shall die. See, 2/3 of you are going to die in this place. 2/3 of Israel is going to, good majority of you are going to perish in this place because you believe and you trust in this place. A lot of you are going to die in this famine, man. The good majority of your kids. 17, I'll close out with this. It says, so shall it be with all the men that set their faces to go into Egypt to sojourn there. They shall die by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence, and none of them shall remain or escape from the evil that I will bring upon them. Call Allah Yahawah BASHAM YAHAWAHSHI. So there is a terrifying famine that the Lord is going to bring in this place, America, that's spiritually known as Sodom and Egypt. You're going to continue to see the contamination of water. The droughts get worse. The animals dying off. More pestilence coming. The uproars from the people. You know, this place is finished, man. This place is finished. You got to come out of this place, Israel. You got to come out of this place, or you're going to perish in this place. So Hopefully you're edified. I don't want to come back with another lesson, but I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, BASHAM, YAHAWAHSHI, BASHAM, Rakah, Quadash. Shalom, Israel.